Jai said, "Hi, on YouTube." Um, so this video is going to be a little out of character because I actually am about to get in bed, but I felt inspired to talk about this. Um, but I wanted to talk about fear and perception in my life at the moment. The past week or so has really been a hard struggle for me to, stay in school, to stay focused, and to stay dedicated to stay in school and trying to balance my spirituality at the same time and still trying to be a good person and work on improving myself, just to be a good person for other people as well. And it's been a it's been a struggle. And I'm about to sneeze. Okay. And I cried. I cried this week, and I had to dig really deep, and I had to call on my spiritual master to, you know, um, to pull me out of it. But after talking to him and reflecting on myself and going to a meditation class this Friday and reading several blogs by OrangeAnkhh, I'll post her website in the description box. I realized that the reason why I freak out so much, the reason why I get so worried and I get so anxious is because I'm afraid. And even though I'm not using words such as fear or the unknown or darkness or whatever the case may be to describe my feelings, like ultimately that is at the core of why I have been frustrated so like lately. And it's because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what I will look like to other people. I'm afraid of if I will succeed. I'm afraid if I will fail. I'm afraid that other people may think I look stupid or I sound stupid. I'm afraid that I'm not competent enough. I'm afraid that I'm not intelligent enough, that I'm not articulate enough. Um, which can also be attributed to a lack of confidence, but for the most part, I'm just afraid of what will happen, what the consequences will be, and I need to stop. Um, and as I was writing in my journal just now, I realized that the only way to truly overcome fear is to not only embrace it, but to face it, and to just go ahead and just do it. Um, that's the only way that I'm gonna get over it. And the thing that kind of sparked this tonight was that I had my professor just randomly tell me, "Oh yeah, I need you to teach class this Wednesday." Now, had it been from an African Societies class, I would have been like, "Oh, okay, that's fine," because it's a sophomore level class, and I know a little bit about Africa, and so I could do it, no problem. But it's for a senior level capstone class of students in international studies, and it's a 2.5 hour long class, and it's extremely intimidating to me, and I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I mean, and it's just kind of like I realize that I don't want to because I'm afraid that those students are going to perceive me as being unintelligible and not knowledgeable about the subject, and um, I'm going to think like, what in the world is she doing up here trying to teach us about something she knows nothing about? And at first I was like, oh, I have all these readings to do, but I was just making excuses when ultimately I'm just afraid of failing. Um, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to quit grad school overall last week was just because I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of not succeeding in a way that other people feel that I should. And that's something that I've been knowing for a while. Maybe not necessarily in this context, but I've known for a while that I seek validation from other people, instead of seeking validation from myself. And that's something that I'm working on. It's going to take a little bit to actually do, but it's something that I'm working on, and it's manifesting again, but in the form of fear because I'm just afraid. I'm just afraid. Um, and the only way, like I said, for me to get over it is for me to just face it and just do it. And not only that, but to practice it and do it over and over again, until I get to a point to where I'm confident in knowing that I can. So I'm working on fear currently at the moment and trying to get over that. And the reason why I say perception as well is because, in me being afraid, I perceive things as more than what they really are. I perceive things as what they aren't at all. And so, I'm trying to change my perception, about a lot of things, even in the face of anger, of sadness, depression, but in fear as well. I have to realize that I can do it, and me thinking that I can't is all my ego trying to keep me trapped. And I have to perceive things in a positive light, because if the first thing I think is negative and that it's going to be bad and horrible and it's going to be the worst moment of my life, I'm always going to be afraid. I'm always going to perceive things in a negative light, and you have to be able to change your perception. And that has been reinforced and brought to my attention several times over the past few weeks by one of my spiritual teachers, Siddhali Shree, when she talks about problems making us stronger. And she states, that you can't change the world, you can't change people, you can't change, society. You can't control those things, rather. Maybe I shouldn't say change, but you can't control them. But the thing you can control is your attitude and the way you receive the things that happen to you. So instead of trying to control everything else around you, control your perception. Try to control yourself. Because that's something that can change, the society and the environment around you, is if you change your perception of what's happening to you and direct it in a positive way. I had that reminded to me again in my meditation class that I've been going to on Friday. Is that the mind is a very, very powerful thing. It has the power to create stress and it has the power to create happiness. you know, um, the point of the matter is how you navigate that power, how you navigate how you perceive things, and that's with your mind. And it changes and you trying to change your perception. Um, and that's something that I'm trying to do, because it's really easy for the mind to have take one small insignificant moment and just have it snowball into the worst thing of your life. And then you finally arrive at the situation and it's nowhere near what the mind dreamt up. But you have to be able to change and control your perception. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that before I go to bed. you know um I'm working on changing the way I perceive my life, and I'm working on overcoming my fears so that way I can truly have the confidence in myself, the trust in myself, and the belief in myself to carry on this journey wherever it may take me. So, yeah, that's it. Just wanted to talk to you about that. So, have a good night. Jai Sadhava.